Well, this is Salam Media, and we are coming to you live out of our studios in Johannesburg this afternoon, but also coming to you live out of Gaza this afternoon. Alhamdulillah, in this month of Ramadan, which is the 10th of Ramadan, and we are coming to you live out of Gaza City with my guest, Sister Aya Mashharawi, English language lecturer at the University College of Applied Sciences in Gaza, in Palestine. She is a PhD researcher in education, specializing in learning, and her CV actually speaks volumes. An international certified e-moderator from Consultants E Limited as well. And the focus obviously is on education, a project at transforming higher education access in Palestine. And if I recall, in July 2023, a few months before the genocide had unfolded in Gaza, I had covered the story of students in Gaza, most of them achieving well over 90% in their studies. And I recall covering it with a sister out of Gaza, Rana Shubair, who sadly was actually martyred a few months later. And this is how serious the people of Palestine and the young people of Palestine take their education, because it is through this education that, inshallah, we will see them emerge from this rubble and rebuild Gaza. Sister Aya Al Mashrawi, Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Welcome. And I must say, it's an absolute honor having you out of Gaza City this afternoon with us here on Salam Media.
وعليكم السلام ورحمة الله وبركاته. Ramadan Mubarak. Wishing you all peace, blessings, and strength during this holy month. Thank you so much actually for hosting this important discussion. It's really my honor. And the strong sense of solidarity we have witnessed from South Africa in standing for justice and amplifying the voices of Gaza people facing the genocide is truly inspiring. And your dedication to standing up for what is right and giving these voices the attention they deserve is truly praiseworthy. Thank you.
Well, Jazakallah khairan so much for that. Now, just before we get to talking about the education part, I just want a few minutes talking about Ramadan in Gaza at this point in time. We know we've been watching the visuals, we've been following the news, we've been seeing what is actually happening, and also with the latest in terms of electricity, obviously, have been cut out as well, the blocking of aid. Just how are people in your part of the world, in Gaza City, where you are, coping in this month of Ramadan, Sister Aya?
Yes, actually, Ramadan this month, this holy month, is coming to Gaza people under different circumstances, under their resilience, under their trying to stand up from the rebels of their homes. Many people now, they are living in tents. We are talking about thousands of people living in tents, but they are insisting and persisting on pursuing their holy month ceremonies, praying Allah that Alhamdulillah for everything here in Gaza. We are still have the soul to continue our life because we are Muslim, Alhamdulillah, and we have resilience to go on despite everything. The genocide have taken many souls, taken homes, making Gaza upside down, but still people have their strength in Allah, that Allah will be with us, inshallah, and Ramadan, with the blessings we have, inshallah, we will rise up again, inshallah.
Well, inshallah, we will. And our du'as and our thoughts have always been with the people of Palestine, the people of Gaza, inshallah. And we know we have this firm belief in Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala that ultimately we will prevail, inshallah. And all of it
Inshallah.
at the end of the day is on behalf of an ummah that identifies with Masjid al-Aqsa as well, and the freedom and the liberation of Masjid al-Aqsa, inshallah, will surely come, Sister Aya. But let's
Inshallah.
go and talk about your area, that we want to talk about. We want to talk about education, about the crucial role, about the massive role that education can actually play in rebuilding Gaza, both from a social perspective, from an economic perspective. And we know that the people of Palestine and the people of Gaza take great pride in in obtaining a good education, Sister Aya.
Yeah, actually, when we are talking about education, we are talking about how education is a weapon for Gazan people. Now, as we just talk about how Ramadan is a time of reflection on our collective struggle for our dignity and peace and our belief in Allah, also education here is the weapon that we want to have to continue our life. Now, my institution, the University College of Applied Sciences in Gaza, is one of the cornerstones of higher education in Gaza. It serves the largest institution offering applied and technical education in Palestine for over 11,000 students before the war, and providing them programs, multiple programs across more than 80 professional fields under the supervision of Ministry of Higher Education. And before the devastating war that began on October 7th, 2023, UCAS actually stood strong as a hub of education, as a hub of innovation, empowering a generation of young Palestinians with skills and knowledge. But the latest brutal, aggressive war has changed everything. Everything now is upside down. As you know, as you may know, my university, UCAS, in Gaza has been attacked, similar like the entire Gaza. All buildings, facilities, infrastructure, educational labs have been destroyed. Even its president, along with dozens of its academic and administrative staff and hundreds of its students and graduates were murdered. So the brutal war actually dealt a severe blow to thousands of students who were on the average of realizing their dreams. Uh, Today, more than ever, we need to stick to education. Today, more than ever, we are facing the severe challenge of rebuilding Gaza, of rebuilding our educational institutions after the destruction of its infrastructure and the severe hardships faced by our students. Now, particularly, we are talking about in our institution about 9,000 and half students now enrolling in UCAS, but actually they are now suffering hardships and severe challenges.
Yes. Now, let's just talk a bit about these hardships and these challenges that are faced by the students in Gaza when we know obviously a lot has been destroyed in terms of the infrastructure as well. But at the end of the day, we know how keen young people in Palestine are to gain an education. We see it here in South Africa. Alhamdulillah, we've brought a number of medical students to South Africa to come here and come and complete their medical degrees. We've seen many go to many other parts around the world as well. And let's just talk about, these ongoing challenges that they faced. We know the genocide has affected them. It's affected their ability to complete their studies, but they
Yes.
need support. And my question to you, Sister Aya, is what support can be given to these students?
Yeah, actually, when we are talking about biggest challenges faced by our students in Gaza, um, first we can talk about the severe physical and emotional trauma. Some students have lost limbs, some suffered from severe injuries, some bearing the visible scars of war, others carry invisible wounds weighed down by psychological trauma that has impacted their ability to focus on their study. So the war has not only shattered their lives, but also their spirits. So this is not an easy point. Another one you can talk about the loss of family and the providers. Here, approximately here at UCAS, we have 42% of students have lost their family members, and 23% have lost their main providers due to the genocide. So you can imagine how the emotional toll of these losses, compounded by their inability to afford their tuitions and their basic necessities. Also, the forced displacement. Actually, displacement has forced many students to live in tents where even basic necessities like food, water, shelter are in shorter supply. So, with their homes reduced to rubble, these students now have been under a challenge, forced to survive instead of to learn. They now are searching for food, for a drink, instead to go to their schools to learn. So, imagine some students are studying by candle lights in these shelters or tents, fighting to keep their academic dreams alive despite such circumstances. Also, when we are talking about the destruction of houses, we have conducted a survey that showed that 66 of students have had their homes destroyed or severely damaged. So now many houses are inhabitable. So this devastation has left students without access to even basic necessities of their life, and they have no safe place to study, no good environment to study. So they have a lot of hardships that adding to their already difficult lives under the blockade. So from let me say, in response to such challenges, UCAS actually preserved to have its role as a hub of knowledge and hope, and that's why it launched a campaign called Hope Remains. Hope Remains campaign, so as to support and sponsor 1,000 students in this stage in Gaza who have lost their houses or children of martyrs. So this campaign aims to fully sponsor students, particularly financial support in order to cover their tuition fees, to cover their essential educational supplies such as laptops, online learning tools, essential living expenses such as food, drink, clothing, personal expenses, transportation, etc. So this is to enable them to focus on their education rather than survive. So this is one of the golden aims of this campaign right now, and we hope, inshallah, to fulfill it with compassionate hearts in order to support these students.
Inshallah, I mean, in fact,
Inshallah.
this is why we're calling it the Education for All project, and obviously sponsoring needy students in these higher education institutes, inshallah, in Gaza as well. Now, let's just, I did see, obviously, some information, Sister Aya, that was flashing through the screen as you were talking as well. But again, we want to use this platform, we want to utilize this opportunity to appeal to people, outside of Gaza, to contribute, to support this initiative, but also looking at the international community, and like we are doing here on media at this point in time, talking about the problem, but also at the same time encouraging people to support this initiative, and why this education sector in Gaza is so important. It's so important to advocate for the cause of their rebuilding, but also for the future of these young people in Gaza. And we know that a large part of the population in Gaza is made up of young people, Sister Aya.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. Actually, we have heartbreaking stories of our students here in Gaza, particularly at UCAS, endured unimaginable loss, but their resilience remains unbroken. Actually, as I said, some students lost their limbs, suffered severe injuries, but their resilience to continue their education is great. They have the soul of youth. Uh, For example, imagine that a young woman who lost her leg through an airstrike is still determined to pursue her dream of becoming a nurse, to heal others despite her own pain. And imagine another student fight for his or her education while coping with uh, missing one or more members of his or her family. So losing family members is not that easy. Even students who are forced to live in tents or shelters study under the most difficult conditions. The war has taken their homes, but their determination to pursue their education remains steadfast. Actually, I also heard and saw some of my students who are fighting not just for survival, but they want to have the opportunity to break free from the cycle of poverty. So, so actually, many of my students, they studied for their exams on hospital floors or in the streets, try to catch internet signal just to submit their exams. So, can you imagine how how determination they have in their souls to rise up again amid this trouble, but still we need contributions. We need support from compassionate hearts in order to financially help them, in order to let them feel that they are not forgotten. They are here. They are here in the hearts of people, of humanity, of Muslim people. Really, this is an act of hope.
Well, Sister Aya, I'm certain that people will respond, inshallah. And
Inshallah.
we've obviously taken this Palestinian cause uh, very, very close to our heart. And inshallah, at some point in time, we want to have another interview with you, inshallah, because I know we haven't done justice in a matter of a few minutes, and we are heading towards the time of iftar here as well here in South Africa. And I'm sure, I'm not too sure whether you've had your iftar yet in Gaza at this point in time. But Sister Aya, we've got your details, we've got all the banking details as well, inshallah, and we will talk to as many people as we can reach out to
Yes.
as a media organization as well, inshallah, because this is definitely what is needed at this point in time. These young, souls in Gaza have got a whole life ahead of them. They've got a future ahead of them, inshallah. And inshallah, we want to be part and parcel in helping them
Inshallah.
in building this bright, this successful, this beautiful future that they live for, and more importantly, under a free and a liberated Palestine, inshallah.
Yeah, I hope media to amplify the voices and spreading the word about our students' struggles, really to tell our stories. And actually, I urge everyone to take an action now, contribute to reviving hope. Actually, here our students are facing unimaginable challenges. So together we can turn their despair into determination, more determination, and help rebuild Gaza through education. So and to let them pursue their dreams. Every contribution will be, inshallah, in Mizan Hasanatkum, no matter how small it is, but it really will make a difference, inshallah.
Inshallah, I mean, Jazakallah khairan so much,
Jazakumullah khair.
Sister Aya, once again for your time. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala make it easy. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala grant you
Inshallah.
safety. Allah grant you and the people of Palestine, inshallah, Allah grant you victory and liberation. And
Ameen.
we as an ummah have a huge debt. We actually owe it to you as the chosen people by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to protect Masjid al-Aqsa, the liberation of Masjid al-Aqsa as well. So, as a Muslim ummah that is 2 billion strong, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has chosen you as a Palestinian, special people Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has chosen. And once again, our du'as are with you, inshallah. We will get the message out far and wide as well. And please, please remember us in your du'as as well.
آمين آمين. Thank you so much. Thank you. جزاكم الله كل خير. رمضان
I
كريم.
mean, Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
وعليكم السلام ورحمة الله.
Aya Al Mashharawi, English language lecturer at the University College of Applied Sciences, and inshallah we will try and get her back again. And here's something for us to think about very, very, very carefully about after all the death, the devastation, the destruction. And yes, we've been talking about all institutions, we've been talking about hospitals, but we're talking about now, we are talking about educational institutions. These young children, these young minds have actually got a whole future, and let us be part of and parcel of that future. And this is where we need to put our money and also at the same time support initiatives like this. There's just so much goodness, there's so much reward, and let us make that firm intention in this month of Ramadan, inshallah, that we will do whatever we can. And with that, we're going to go for a quick break, and thereafter I'm going to hand you over very quickly to Maulana Yunus Kawan.